Hi students, good morning. Today shall we discuss some questions from the chapter solids. Questions means competitive level questions. I will discuss only 10 questions in a very fast manner. Okay, there is no time to waste. Question number 1. How many unit cells are present in a cube shaped ideal crystal of NaCl of mass 1 gram? So we are having a cube shaped NaCl of mass 1 gram. How many unit cells will be there? So it's a very simple way to solve. Mass of one unit cell equal to density into volume. This is a very basic equation. Mass equal to density into volume. So mass of one unit cell equal to density of one unit cell into volume of one unit cell. Density of unit cell or density of solid is given by the equation mZ by Na A cube. M molecular mass or atomic mass. Z effective number of particle. Na Avogadro number. A edge length. Into volume. Volume means A cube. Now here A cube and A cube get cancelled. That is the beauty of this question. A cube and A cube get cancelled. We are having only mZ by Na. So how many unit cell will be there in 1 gram crystal? One unit cell is having a mass of mZ by Na. So number of unit cells in 1 gram crystal is 1 divided by mZ by Na. So that is Na by mZ. Substitute it, you will get the answer. Na Avogadro number, M molecular mass of NaCl, Z effective number. For NaCl, Z equal to 4. Substitute and find out the answer. Quickly moving on to second question. Consider FCC lattice. A atoms occupy at a corner, B atom occupy at a face center. But there is a problem. One B atom is missing per unit cell. Per unit cell there is a missing of one B atom. Write the formula of the compound. It's very easy to solve. A atoms are at the corner, so there will be 8 A atoms because a cube is having 8 corners. B atoms are at the face center, but one B atom is missing from every unit cell. So there will not be 6 particles, there will be only 5 particles because a cube is having 6 faces. But here not all 6 particles are present, only 5 particles are present, one is missing. So A8 and B5. Now we need to find the contribution. A is equal to 8 into 1 by 8 because a particle at the corner is shared by 8 unit cells. So 8 into 1 by 8 equal to 1. That is the effective number of A. Now focus on the effective number of B. B means particle at phase center. Particle at phase center is shared by 2 unit cells. So 5 into 1 by 2. Answer is 5 by 2. So we will write A1 B 5 by 2. How will you simplify it? Multiply with 2. It will become A2 B5. To avoid that fraction, we multiply with 2. It will become A2 B5. So formula is A2 B5. Okay. We are not wasting even a single second. Question number 3. Atoms of anion Y occupy CCP, cubical close packing. Atoms of CCP means FCC, both are similar. CCP, FCC, both are similar. You can remember CCP contain 2C, FCC also contain 2C. So both the CCP and FCC is having same effective number of particles 4. Okay. Now, atoms of cation X occupy 2 by 3rd of tetrahedral void. Y is occupying CCC, Y is anion. Cation X is occupying 2 by 3rd of tetrahedral void. Find the formula of the compound. This is actually a board level question. It's very easy to solve. CCP, FCC, effective number of particle means 4. HCP it is 6, BCC 2, simple cubic or primitive 1. This data you should have. It's a very important thing. CCP or FCC effective number of particle is 4. HCP it is 6, BCC it is 2. And simple cubic or primitive it is 1. Now here we need the value of CCP or FCC, that is 4. Now Y atoms occupy CCP. So number of Y we will take as 4. Effective number of particle in CCP is 4. So Y let it be 4. For 4 particles there will be double the number of tetrahedral void. That's a specialty. If number of particle is 4, tetrahedral void will be 8. Number of particle is 4, octahedral void will be 4 itself, but tetrahedral void is always double the number of particle. Octahedral void is same as the number of particle, but tetrahedral void is double the number of particles. So here there will be 8 number of particle. But there will be no 8 tetrahedral void. Not all tetrahedral voids are occupied. Only 2 by 3rd of tetrahedral void is occupied. So X equal to 2 by 3 into 8. That is 16 by 3. Now just substitute. X means 16 by 3. Y means 4. Here you can see Y 4. X is 16 by 3. That you substitute here. X 16 by 3, Y 4. How will you simplify it? Multiply with 3. It will become X 16, Y 12. Now how will you simplify it? Divide by 4, it will become X4Y3. That is the formula of the compound, X4Y3. Okay, fine. Next question, question number 4. In the compound Fe0.85O, percentage of iron existing as Fe3 plus. Here the cation is missing. Actual compound is FeO, Fe2 plus O2 minus. But here some of the cation is missing. That's why only 0.85 Fe atom is there. So percentage of iron existing as Fe3 plus, that is the question. Now listen, if one Fe is missing, one Fe2 plus is missing, that will affect two other Fe2 plus. Two other Fe2 plus will upgrade to Fe3 plus to compensate that loss. If one Fe2 plus is missing, two Fe2 plus will become Fe3 plus. Then only that loss can be compensated. So remember that ratio. For every Fe2 plus missing, two Fe2 plus will be changed to Fe3 plus. That means two Fe3 plus is generated. For one missing Fe2 plus, two Fe3 plus will be generated. Now let's see. Here first let's take FeO, that is Fe equal to 1, O equal to 1. For 1 mole FeO means 1 mole Fe and 1 mole O. If there are 100 Fe atom, there will be 100 oxygen atom. Simple logic. But here it is Fe0.85O, so there the ratio is only 85 and 100. Fe85 and O100. So number of Fe2 plus missing is 15. Number of Fe2 plus missing is 15. There is no 100, only 85 is there. 15 is missing. For each Fe2 plus missing, two atoms of Fe2 plus will become Fe3 plus. I already told you. So number of Fe3 plus will be 30. Now so percentage of iron present as Fe3 plus is 30 divided by 85. Total there were 85 iron atom. Out of those 85 iron atom, 30 are existing as Fe3 plus. So the percentage of iron present as Fe3 plus is 30 divided by 85 into 100. Answer will be 35.29. I hope there is no confusion in this question. I will summarize once again. For each Fe2 plus missing, two Fe3 plus will be generated. Here 15 Fe2 plus is missing. So 30 Fe3 plus will be generated. So 30 divided by total iron atom is 85. Whether Fe2 plus or Fe3 plus, total iron atom is 85. So 30 by 85 into 100. That much percentage is existing as Fe3 plus. So next question, fifth question. If 400 picometer is the wavelength, edge length, if 400 picometer is the edge length of a cubic unit cell, what is the distance between corner atom and center atom, atom at the body center? Now the simple logic is, we are having a phase diagonal. You can see a phase diagonal. Here there is an edge length. This one is edge length, indicated by green arrow mark. This one is edge length A. This one is phase diagonal. This one is body diagonal. Particularly the body center is present at the body diagonal. Now listen, what I want to say is, edge length is A, this also edge length is A. So 1:1 is to root 2. Phase diagonal is root 2A. Phase diagonal is root 2A. And this phase diagonal, edge length and body diagonal again form a right angle triangle. So the body diagonal, again applying Pythagoras theorem, body diagonal will become root 3A. Don't forget this, phase diagonal will always be equal to root 2A. Body diagonal will always be equal to root 3A. Now to find the distance between particle at the corner means here, and particle at the body center, it is half the body diagonal. Distance half the body diagonal we need to take. Already I told you that body diagonal length is root 3A. Divided by 2 will be the answer, root 3A by 2. Particle distance between particle at corner and particle at a body center means half the body diagonal. Body diagonal length is root 3A. So the answer will be root 3A divided by 2. This you should never forget. Phase diagonal root 2A, body diagonal root 3A. I hope you will never forget this. Now, sixth question. 1 mole of NaCl is doped with 10 raised to minus 5 mole of strontium chloride. The number of cation vacancies in the crystal will be, that is our question. 1 mole of NaCl is doped. Here it is an impurity defect. Doping means impurity. 1 mole of NaCl is doped with a 10 raised to minus 5 mole of strontium chloride. We need to find the number of cationic vacancy. Here you can see strontium 2 plus introduced in the crystal of NaCl. Here you can see strontium 2 plus. Strontium 2 plus means each strontium 2 plus should replace 2 Na plus. Each strontium 2 plus should replace 2 Na plus. Why? Because strontium is having 2 plus charge. It can replace 2 Na plus. Na is having a single charge. So strontium 2 plus can replace 2 Na plus. In one of the vacancy it occupy and one vacancy will be there free. One cation vacancy will be generated. So remember one thing, the numbers, the ratio you should remember here is for each Sr2 plus can replace 2 Na plus. Each Sr2 plus can create one cation vacancy. Suppose here in this case only one Sr2 plus is introduced, that created one cation vacancy. If 10 Sr2 plus are there, 10 cation vacancy will be there. If 20 Sr2 plus are there, 20 cation vacancy will be there. And here the question is, there are 10 raised to minus 5 mole Sr2 plus, then there is answer is 10 raised to minus 5 mole cation vacancy will be there. Answer is very simple. Okay, so the answer is 10 raised to minus 5 mole, because 10 raised to minus 5 mole Sr2 plus is present. So the cation vacancy will also be 10 raised to minus 5 mole. So the number of cation vacancies in the crystal is 10 raised to minus 5 mole, or 10 raised to minus 5 into 6.022 into 10 raised to 23. Fine. That's our 6th question. 7th question, let's move on. 7th question, that is a simple conceptual question but a very important question, a one-word question. Which compound is metallic and ferromagnetic? A compound that is metallic. Usually metals are metallic, but some compounds can exist as the metal, that means that can show the properties of metal. Metallic conductivity will be there for compounds. Such a compound is CrO2. There will be options given to you: titanium dioxide, vanadium dioxide, iron oxide. But the compound that can show metallic conductivity, and also it is ferromagnetic, compound that can show metallic conductivity is CrO2. Don't forget this. This was asked in so many questions. I think in 2016 JEE main question it was. Now 8th question. Everyone know about valence band and conduction band. Everyone know about valence band and conduction band. For conductors, valence band and conduction band are overlapping. For semiconductor, small gap will be there between valence gap and conduction band. For insulator, large gap will be there between valence band and conduction band. That's why they are insulator, because electrons cannot move from valence band to conduction band. I hope you know this concept. This is in the deleted syllabus, so I will repeat again. For conductor, valence band and conduction band, valence band is below, conduction band is in the upper portion, it is higher energy band. For conductor, valence band and conduction band will be overlapping, very close to each other. Semiconductor, there is a small gap. Insulator, there is a large gap. That gap is called forbidden zone. This is very simple, but the question that can be asked is about N-type semiconductor and P-type semiconductor. Both of them also contain, both N-type and P-type semiconductor also contain valence band and conduction band. Then the difference is, for N-type semiconductor there is a donor. N-type means electrons are present, excess electrons are present. So there will be a donor level near to conduction band. So electrons present in this donor level will move to conduction band. That's why N-type semiconductor is a good semiconductor. Electrons are present in the donor level that can move to conduction band. And now in the case of P-type semiconductor, there is an acceptor band near valency band. Acceptor band near valency band. Okay. This acceptor band can accept electron from valence band. So as the valence band electron move to acceptor level, holes are created in the valence band. Holes are the carriers in P-type. So first one is N-type. The donor level is, you can remember like this, donor N. Donor contain N. Okay, you can remember like that. Donor contain N type. Acceptor level, acceptor, in the spelling of acceptor you can see P. Acceptor level is present in P type semiconductor. So don't forget this. Donor level, donor, that spelling you see, you can see N. Donor level is present in N type semiconductor. Acceptor, see that spelling, acceptor, there is P. P type semiconductor, acceptor level is found. And one more thing, donor level will be very close to conduction band. Acceptor level will be very close to valence band because it need to accept electrons. So holes will be created in the valency band. So remember these two band diagrams. Along with the band diagrams of conductor, semiconductor and insulator, remember the band diagram of N type and P type. It can be asked without the band diagram also. Acceptor level is present in which? Acceptor, P type. Donor level is present in which? N type. Donor level is close to conduction band, acceptor level is close to valence band. So this is also a very important topic you should remember. Now 9th question, it is related to unit cells. Most ordered unit cell, it is cubic. A equal to B equal to C, alpha equal to beta is equal to gamma equal to 90. Everything perfect. Perfect, okay. So most ordered unit cell, cubic. Most disordered unit cell means a triclinic. Nothing is okay there. A not equal to B not equal to C, alpha not equal to beta not equal to gamma not equal to 90. So most disordered triclinic. Like a matchbox. Matchbox means all angles are 90, but side are all different. A not equal to B not equal to C. Like a matchbox, it is orthorhombic. All four variations are present. All four variations are present in orthorhombic. Variations mean primitive, body centered, face centered, end centered. All these four variations are present in orthorhombic. Only primitive, that doesn't contain no other variation like body centered, face centered, end centered. Nothing is present in these three unit cell. THR, you can pronounce it as teacher. THR, teacher. Trigonal, hexagonal, rhombohedral. Trigonal, hexagonal, rhombohedral. These three unit cell can have only primitive unit cell. Okay. Now, Bravais lattice, our last topic. Okay. I will move on to last topic. If you want to revise it, you pause it and see it again. Okay. I am moving to next topic. Bravais lattice. Easy way to remember is C-term teacher. C-term teacher. Cubic, tetragonal, orthorhombic, monoclinic, triclinic, hexagonal, rhombohedral. C-term teacher. Okay. Now, first let's remember the length. The top one is A equal to B equal to C. Bottom one is also A equal to B equal to C. Second one is A equal to B not equal to C. Second one from bottom is also A equal to B not equal to C. All the remaining are A not equal to B not equal to C. How easy it is to remember. The top one A equal to B equal to C. Bottom one same, A equal to B equal to C. Then second one A equal to B not equal to C. Second one from the last also A equal to B not equal to C. And all the remaining are A not equal to B not equal to C. Now let's see their angles. First three are having perfect angles. Alpha equal to beta equal to gamma equal to 90. Cubic, tetragonal, orthorhombic. Okay. Then last one. Alpha equal to beta equal to gamma not equal to 90 degree. Everything is okay. Alpha equal to beta equal to gamma but not equal to 90 degree. That's a specialty of rhombohedral. And for triclinic, alpha not equal to beta not equal to gamma not equal to 90 degree. Nothing is equal to 90 degree. Triclinic, hexagonal, rhombohedral. Triclinic, hexagonal, rhombohedral. Last three. Triclinic, hexagonal, rhombohedral. Triclinic, nothing is equal to 90. Cubic, first three things all are equal to 90. Rhombohedral, everything is equal but not equal to 90. Like that you can remember. Hexagonal is the only thing that is having a 120. Alpha equal to beta 90 but gamma 120 in hexagonal. That I didn't write here. You can write alpha equal to beta equal to 90, gamma 120. Monoclinic, you find it yourself from textbook. Okay, actually that is the only thing you need to remember. All other things it is easy to remember. Only monoclinic you need to by heart. All other things will be there in your mind if you study properly. Okay, and this question do you remember all only primitive THR. It is not trigonal. Sorry, it is not trigonal. It is triclinic. Okay, it is triclinic. That was a mistake. only primitive, it is not trigonal, it is triclinic. Okay. Now next is variations. Cubic contain primitive, body centered, face centered. Tetragonal contain primitive and body centered. Orthorhombic contain primitive, body centered, face centered, end centered. Monoclinic contain this primitive and centered, first and last one, primitive and end centered. Teacher means what? Triclinic, hexagonal, rhombohedral. These three having primitive only. So total there are 14 unit cells. Okay, 14 unit cell types of unit cells are present in Bravais lattice. So I think with the 10 or 15 minutes maximum, we have summarized a very important concept in this chapter, but it is just a beginning. You should study more. Okay, thank you. We'll see you with another chapter. Thank you. All the best. Stay safe. Stay healthy.